Hey there, everyone. Today I want to talk to you about, oh no, notice of value on your appraisal. What the hell does that mean? And let's dive right into how we're going to work through the notice of value that has been assigned on your appraisal. And I'm going to outline this in a bunch of easy to follow steps. Notice of value. This is an appraiser's way of saying, hey, the condition of this property doesn't meet FHA or VA, and in very rare cases, conventional lending standards. Notice of value does not apply to cash buyers, so disregard that if that's what you're doing to purchase a home. In the case of notice of value on, say, VA or FHA loans, which are a lot more stringent in their appraisal methodologies, we're talking about cracked glass, chipped paint, missing flooring, torn up flooring, negative drainage around the foundation, really obvious roof defects that the appraiser can observe from the street. So if you've been assigned this, what do you do? First step, take a deep breath and understand that this happens to a lot of properties. And we as real estate agents work through this all the time. It will be okay. It is not a deal breaker. Second, I want you to talk with your lender because the lender is going to provide you hopefully with pictures of what was the offending item or items. Then develop a plan with your real estate agent to get through this. This plan is going to involve, say, how are we going to solve these deficiencies? How are we going to correct these problems? How are we going to make some repairs? And then we will use the real estate agent who's representing the buyer to communicate with the seller's agent to say, these are the items of deficiency. And then at that point, the listing agent will talk to the seller and they'll strategize on how they want to get these items taken care of in a timely fashion. And timely is really important here because when the notice to value comes back, oftentimes closing is a week to 10 days away. Remember, an appraiser has a certain amount of time to get the report back to the lender. And that can depend on the type of loan. But say for VA, they have 10 days to accept and complete the order and get the report back to the lender. But delays do happen, especially if they're really busy. When we saw rates drop before, we had a crazy delay and oftentimes a month long. So if this video is going to service the needs of people, years into the future, I just want to throw that out there. Be prepared for a potential delay to your closing if notice of value is assigned. The next bit of advice is probably the most important thing in this video. Be prepared to work with the other party. This is not a bare knuckle fight. Oftentimes the items that come up in notice of value situations are small. I have had items as small as paint was chipping around the cold molding or the door frame on the exterior door. We're talking about 2 sticks of wood that go 8 feet in the air and 4 feet across. Really simple to fix in about an hour with a pint of semi-gloss white and a throwaway foam brush. Literally that simple. This is not an opportunity to go back to the other party and shave off thousands of dollars. Okay? The other thing I want to keep in mind is your rate lock period. If you are getting ready to close a loan, meaning signing all of your documents, and your lender locked you in on a 30-day lock, and you have 5 days left, and you have notice of value that comes up, the chance of you hitting your closing time frame and all the dates that are in your contract is slim to none. You need to work with your lender on an extension. Is it smart just to take a couple of days and pay a nominal amount of dollars? Perhaps there's enough money in your closing costs already built in. Maybe there's a buffer that's been built in. Or perhaps you're working on a 45-day lock. These are questions you need to ask with your lender. And that goes right back to the very second or third point I made, which is talk with your lender. This is part of the strategy for dealing with notice of value. Also, since the appraiser has to go back out and validate that these items were handled, who's going to pay the reinspect fee? Yeah, there's a fee for that. It's between $100 and $150 depending on the type of loan and the lender and the appraiser that you're working with. Also, it really depends on their schedule. If you try and put a rush on this, that fee may go up. Again, dictated by a rate lock or your timetable for getting out of your current home into the next one. So the rule of the day with notice of value is work with the other party and make sure you pay attention to your own dates and deadlines that are going on in your contract, also in your lives, because you don't want to make yourself homeless over some cracked chip peeling paint. Obviously, if it's a bigger item like cracked glass or a roof repair or negative drainage around the foundation and there's 3 feet of snow outside, it is Colorado and that can happen, you need to think of ways to get past this. So this is a work together scenario. This is just one of the many things that can come up in a real estate transaction. If you have questions, I want you to reach out to us and we'd be happy to help. Thanks for watching the video.